experience putus bertahan air? Ada tak? Tahan tak? Suka? Antara tak ada elektrik dan tak ada air, mana satu lebih siksa? Kan? Aku rasa kalau choose hidup lah, kata choose tak ada elektrik lah, panas ada kipas lah. Kalau tak ada air, kalau tak selamat turun, kalau tak turun, so we stop there. So Malaysia panas kan? So having water to our immediate use anytime, anywhere is a must. Otherwise, kita akan sesuatu sebenarnya, right? And what you're seeing here is that cut first. And if you notice, right, it's more and more common now that we hear water supply disruption. The whole taman, the whole kawasan ada air beberapa hari, kalau tak seminggu, dan kita pun dengar berita dan nampak dalam berita kan, surat khabar semua yang pipers, betul, things like that, sugar, like razor and all. So why is this happening more and more frequently? I mean, the truth is, we are having a bit of problem with our water supply in the country. So what we are looking at is the total pipelines, right? Water recirculation and the total pipelines that supply water from our reservoir to all the places like the Kilang, the Rumah Kedai, the Rumah Kita, hospital, mana-mana. Total dia lebih kurang 40,000 kilometer. So susah nak imagine kan, 40,000 kilometers, it is exactly the circumference of Earth. Can you imagine? Hari kita bumi adalah lebih kurang 40,000 kilometer. Jadi jumlah pipe yang ada Malaysia di bawah tanah ni lebih kurang sama dengan jumlah panjang itu. Panjang, sama massive ni. Betul? Very massive, not that kind of here. So these pipelines have been around for a very long time. Antara first pipeline install kat Malaysia bila? Dulu bila tak ada pipeline, kita guna air macam mana? Sungai. Lepas tu pandai kan saya boleh perigi, betul lah. So belakang rumah adalah sekelompok orang boleh guna perigi. Lepas tu masih susah kita pump, betul? Bisa tu pasang pump. Jadi apa? Daripada kita ramai-ramai satu kampung share lah satu pump. So dapatlah pipe ke semua rumah. Lama-lama beberapa kampung combine become a pekan. And then it goes, lama-lama it becomes a jaringan yang the whole country. Right. So when we have that, you can imagine Malaysia mula pesat adakan water recirculation system after Merdeka. Make sense? Kita berapa tahun kita Merdeka hubungkan untuk negara Malaysia lepas tu Sarawak kan? How many years are? Even if we come from 1963, how many years are ini? Today is 2026. Berapa tahun? Kalau tengah calculator, how many years? How many years since 1963? How many years? 63 years. Oh, 60 years October lah. Dilaporkan bahawa di Malaysia, most of our pipelines ini asal-usulnya is asbestos cement. So dia no longer industri, obsolete dah tak ada sekarang kita tak boleh pakai macam itu. Tapi kebanyakan pipe kita adalah macam itu. And out of this, 30% dah memang sampai masa lah. Maksudnya dia dah hak-hak. That's why kalau dia tak kena dia pecah. You see the water splashing out. Or dia crack kat bawah, become non-gravity water. Betul? Dia ledak kan? Non-gravity water means dia tak masuk ke kita punya air, tapi air juga ada macam tu. And you understand that? And when air hilang macam tu, to the water board people, is a wastage lah sebab dia tak boleh putih apa nama tu fees for us. But to the general environment, it is that because the excess water that leak from our pipe into the ground eventually spoil the soil, merosakkan tanah. So today we're going to see how does it happen and why is it so bad. Okay, well, it is easy. When something like this happens, whenever there's a problem, it's very easy for us to point finger. Nanti aja ada masalah, betul lah. Yang penting jangan rumah yang ada air, betul lah. Yang penting jangan asrama tak ada air. Oh, it's not so simple. Sekarang ganti senang. Boleh potong yang rosak, ganti yang pakai sambungan yang senang. Yang susahnya ialah nak kekalkan dia tak pecah lagi dan tak bocor lagi dalam jangka masa yang singkat. Make sense? We are incidentally here in this field, we are talking about building things to meet the demands or to take care of the civilians. That's what they call civil engineers. Betul kan? Civilian. The word starts from the word civil. Kalau ini bahasa Malaysia lebih tepat perkataannya awam. So bila cakap awam ni, dia termasuklah semua benda dia nampak kalau all the infrastructure and all. So you can imagine, if we are to replace all these parts in Malaysia, 40,000 kilometers long. Ya, nanti semua agak-agak akan berlaku. Dahsyatlah. Minyak naik harga, ini naik pun kita tak tahan dan sebagainya. So it's not so easy. And from our point of view, as a civil engineer, we are more concerned about what? The engineering that is behind these perceived types and broken types. Basically, we are saying that it's not good enough just to replace. Kalau nak bocor, tak pecah cuma pada ganti. Tetapi, kita kena pastikan when we make the new parts, they are going to last for as long as possible. Dan misalnya, because today, in modern day material engineering, these types are made to last for a very long time. Dia boleh tahan sangat lama. Masalahnya lah, dia fail sebab yang menahan dia tanah tu fail nanti. Boleh. Yeah, so that is what we are going to understand or learn today. So if you look at the pipe, we can take a cross section of it and look at it. To become a pipe adalah semua tak bayangkan juga water pipe underground as a water pipe. Susah hidup kita. As a water pipe, you kena pressure dari dalam betul. You always have to carry water through you. So bila peak hours, pukul 6 pagi, 6 pagi peak hours, pump tu akan berfungsi dengan lebih kuasa. Ramai orang buka air tu. Kemudian semua kita dia, pukul 8 dia slow down. Pukul 5 datang sampai rumah, again one more round. Dia akan terus sangat dahsyat. Betul kan? Biasanya buka air pada pukul 6, pukul 7 malam tu langsung dia satu kampung semua kena guna air. Dan itulah. Biasanya you want big water gushing or rain shower, you mati pukul 9 malam lah. Macam tu lah. Alright? So, as a water pipe, dia sendiri kena tahan the water that is gushing through it. Now tentu, because it's buried underground, we learn geotechnical engineering. Buried means pipe is here, atas ada tanah. There is a surcharge. Dan kena menampung tanah yang berat tu. Then, it doesn't matter how deep you go, water pipes are usually 1 meter or so. But once you have the ground backfill, atas tu akan jadi apa? Lagi ni, water pipes selalu dipasangkan di mana? The main pipe. Where? Behind your house? Where? Water pipes selalu run di siapa? Seiring dengan siapa? Jalan air. Betul? Run next to the road. In fact, most of the time, we can find what we call utility lines kan. These utility lines berada di shoulder jalan. Sebab tu shoulder tak boleh dibikin apa-apa, betul? You tak boleh depan rumah you suka shoulder tu lapang je. I suka, I tambah, I pasang garaj, tak boleh. Nanti apa-apa berlaku kat bawah, you garaj akan dibuang. Sebab orang nak access kat bawah tu. So the shoulder that is right remains unpaved. Because you want to gain access to the utilities underground. Ya? Cool. So dia kena tampung dan dua jenis beban lah. Satu dari dalam, satu dari luar. Dan satu lagi yang kita mungkin tak berapa terasanya, bila dia tampung beban dari dalam, tekanan air yang berlalu tu, tekanan dari atas, we say the surcharge, traffic and so on. Satu lagi yang sekarang kerap berlaku di Malaysia, gekaran. More and more frequent kan, earthquakes happening all around the world because the earthquakes are trying to stabilize themselves. And kita tak perlu berhubungi direct, kalau kita nak terbiasa, betul? Right? Itu pun good. Ya, good kita plan, kita sebenarnya untuk kita. So the pipe now has experienced that pula. So all in all, put together, very mencabar to become water pipe. So ego jadi student juga terlibat dengan jenis water pipe. Alright? So now, the question is, we know all these problems, alright? We know. And from the engineering point of view, is this so unpredictable? Betul ke? Unpredictable, betul ke? Kita tak tahu dia akan berlaku. Do we not know that the lifespan of the pipes, the AC pipe, we know there's gas-source in that pipe, lifespan 30 years. We are well to 60 years. Maksudnya dah expired. Betul kan? Kalau benda-benda dah expired, what do we expect? Kita performance mesti akan tak seperti yang dijangkakan. Ya? So, really unpredictable, maybe we have to rethink. It is recurring. Hari ni sana bocor, besok sana bocor, besok sana tutup orang lain sebab ganti pipe. So it is everywhere. So it's recurring. And the last one maybe is more of concern to us. We play ignorant. Kau tak tahu. Bila you see, it's not there. Bisa boleh juga, bisa dari sana dan hantar tak boleh suruh dia mau kaki, tak nampak tak boleh hantar. Bisa kau tak ada, bisa lah hantar ya, dia juga. Outside, out mind. Okay, so that's something that proof of thought for us all. So now, it's a lot easier to turn a blind eye to a problem than to face it and take action, betul lah. Betul kan, sana depan belum buat. Duduk dah buat teruk-teruk ataupun teruk, tengok kaki bagi seronok. Dia nanti yang seronok. Alright, now let's take a closer look at what is happening in the ground. When your groundwater table is high, the combination typically of groundwater table is rather high. Why? Because there are a lot of rain. You notice a lot of the past few years, including this year, there is rain, heavy rain, intermittent, and out of nowhere. Betul tak? Siang hari sangat panas, petang tiba-tiba hujan sangat lebat, kadang hujan sampai the next morning. Sedangkan you tengok kalender bukan musim berhujung. So strange weather, unpredictable weather. So when you have a lot of rain coming in, rain nama COVID kami apa? Ya, orang biasa panggil rain, kita siang kita panggil apa? Yang kedua dynamic precipitation dari dulu ini sangat powerful. Okay, dah sampai hit the ground. They start to flow. What dia orang lain kata air mengalir, dia panggil apa?
Flow.
Run?
Dan flow.
Run off, betul. Dia sempat run off, run away. Kalau yang tak sempat run away, dia sink into the ground. We call what? Infill? Oh, come on, tak kajian kan? You sink into the ground, we call infill?
Infiltration.
Alright, so you can see, this processes, you increase the water capacity in the ground, so the water level will rise. So when your groundwater table is high, your pipe that is originally above groundwater table is now submerged in water. Boleh ya? Asal-asal kita ada tampung air di luar air, ada bawah air, kerana ditenggelam air. So apa perasaan dia? And one more thing, if your groundwater lalui tempat yang number one, tanah tu sendiri chemical reaction. So chemical reaction meaning that the water is no longer water, the water can become acidic. Betul tak? When it becomes acidic, your pipe does not like it. Make sense? When your pipe doesn't like it, it will start to react. Reaction of metal normally becomes what? Corrosion. Karat. Karat bukan masalah estetik. Karat dengan masalah dimakan metal tu sampailah tembus. Then you can leakage. Betul. So when you pump water at high pressure, dia pun pecah. You pun dapat little fountain behind the house. Macam tu cerita itu. Alright? So now the next time you see something that is happening in the taman or your college or kampung, you can go and come to the kampung. Look, ini semua pipe ya. Pipe yang apa? Pecah? Pecah sebab apa? Most of it too old. Alright? Most of it too old. Okay. So, what do we do? We try to fix it lah. Kerja-kerja engineer ni tak kira kita apa, our job is fix problem kan. That's why if you CTF, critical thinking problem solving, betul tak? You kena macam tu, you kena critical thinking. Kalau tidak, tak boleh problem solving. Macam tu lah. So anak-anak semua, I know it's hard. Nobody says engineering is easy to study. But you are here. Good lah. Maksudnya apa? Very good. It doesn't matter how you got in here, it doesn't matter how the past semesters have been. What is important is that you are here now. In your third year, second. Third year first, second. Itu dah lupa. Tapi third year kira senior lah, boleh tak? Dah kira senior lah. So, kena serius. Besok you keluar, you yang akan laksanakan your critical thinking and problem solving skills to make sure that our infrastructure are safe and long lasting. Dia bisa logo macam tadi. Okay, now let's take a look at the anatomy of rain pipe. We always see these Sarawak pun nama syarikat urusan air. Contohnya Melaka Sand, syarikat air Melaka tak. Sarawak panggil apa? Sarawak Water. Good. So you see the Sarawak Water people on the website. probably doing some trenching and all, and then cut. Have you ever stopped and not down to see how they actually do it? Sekarang korek dia dapat kamu balik ke ada banyak engineering inside it. Sebenarnya banyak engineering. If you look at it, the first step, you have to estimate to the exact value that is supposed to be. Bukan super hard. Why? Why is it important? Kalau kata benar ke 1.5 meter, maka korek 1.5 meter, bukan korek 1.2 meter, korek tambah balik. Why? Orang kata korek 1.5 meter, sini 1.3, 1.2, sini 1.4, 1.5 dia tak dalam nampak pun letak dia pasti. Tak boleh kan? So you see, it's very precise because we go to a certain depth. And once you get to the depth, bukan to a certain height. What do they do? And you see at the bottom of the pipe, what do they do? They put a layer of cushioning, bedding layer. Betul? Some kind of cushion. You make sure that your pipe, which is sitting on the ground, is well supported. Yeah. Bukanlah cakap nanti dia kena tampung air ke dalam, dia kena tampung tanah, tampung atas, dia kena tampung beban kalau atas jalan, traffic punya road. You parking kereta kat atas itu, is a beban bagi. Belum cakap lagi yang ciri-ciri, extension rumah dan kitchen dan sebagainya, dan tambah beban kat atas itu. You get what I mean? So the cushioning is to prepare for that. And these days, the cushioning is also to have to take away some of the vibration. When you come, when you receive earthquake, dia punya tremor from our neighboring countries, barulah you boleh letakkan your hand. Yeah. So these parts, we are not going to talk about engineering here, so we won't go deep into that. But in general, you also know that the pipe is sekian panjang, meaning that you got to sambung, betul? When you want to connect the connection part is always the biggest link. And senang ke nak cantum dua pipe yang tak sama ketinggian? Ataupun lebih baik satu line je lah. Semua orang satu line. So, that is why it's very important to make sure that the trench that you korek adalah sama dalam. Understand now? Right. So once you put your pipe in, adalah secure, selamat pipe dah masuk ke dalam, you hembus, betul kan? Tengok, bila you hembus lah, dia bukan suka kaki you hembus. You need to do what? When you backfill, is control drainage. You don't want the water, you don't want to become musim tanah yang banyak clay, banyak silt, you compact, lepas tu bila air masuk, air tak boleh keluar sebenarnya, so air itu menjadi extra burden to the pipe again. Understand? Atas sekali barulah we talk about the layer that is going to be taking the surface load coming through. Not so simple kan, kita akan observe it lah. It is a lot of consideration, engineering consideration and judgment in that. So let's take a quick look at the types of modern pipes that we use for water rectification. Kita nampak AC yang tak ada guna asbestos yang tak ada lah. So yang paling common adalah we use a lot of PVC pipes. The plastic pipes as I cakap, okay? Those that we see a lot. The good thing about these plastic pipes which we use, high density pipes, is that they're flexible. So kau nak tanah kita terlenak sikit, masih boleh tahan tak pecah, tak patah, right? And they will take substrate more flexible. But then if your site is near somewhere with a lot of water, swampy area, very deep end, then maybe it's not so good anymore. It is hard. Plastic pipe is right, lah. Sila-sila kena angkat boleh. You know what I mean? So you need something more solid and more secure. So you start thinking about using Marseille or Dakar. And you take a look at these two, they are more robust, more robust. And one of the key features about these metal pipes is that you can put protective coating to prevent it from corrosion. So kalau you perlukan, contohnya lah, you nak letak dekat dengan pantai, you pasti akan letak yang besi. Tapi besi takut karat. Jadi dia akan pastikan yang akan digunakan dulu ada some protective layer. So you can imagine the cost will go up. So masih ingat pada awal dia cakap, macam ganti aja, it's not so simple kan? Alright? Now, long and short of it is that you see here, to make sure that our pipes, the new pipe when you put it in, will last a long time. We got to make sure of two main things. Satu, memang boleh menampuk lah. Betul? Menampuk apa-apa beban tidak ada tak ada. And number two, you want to make sure that itself is being protected. Kalau perlu protected, is protected by some kind of coating. If the place is salty or corrosive nature, make sure that you have enough drainage capacity of the backfill supaya tidak meningkatkan dibentukkan di situ. So all in all, you can see here that this is not pure cement generator. You can tahu material, you pandai dilipat, ada tak pandai dilipat? Kita kena panggil specialist dan cadangkan yang sesuai dengan tapak kita. Betul tak? Kalau tapak tu adalah tapak yang inland, dengan tapak yang tepi sungai, tapak yang tepi paya, dengan tapak yang betul-betul sebelah dengan laut. The town material will be very, very different. Okay? And what else do we need to know? Our job to make sure that when we design the tagging and also the factory material, they are suitable for the purpose. Now, I believe that you will know that when you super base apart, you want to argue the compact betul-betul. So, kalau kita compact betul-betul, the next thing is, beban yang letak kereta parking kat pinggir apa tu, the load akan pecahkan compact. Alright? Because the soil is not taking it. And of course, last but not least, to make sure that design leakage and stuff like that, we using IoT, all these IR 4.0, moving to 5.0 and stuff like that, to make sure that our lifeline, which is your water supply, is secure. Jadi, kesimpulannya ialah, this is a marriage between earth science and geotech engineering. Betul tak? It's not a purely pipe punya soal, air punya soal. Dia banyak jenis science, dia punya performance depends on your geotechnical design, which is something that we don't often think about. Because in water needs, orang-orang yang buat hydraulic studies do studies about it. Right, so this is the first story. If you have any questions, I got a QR code for you. If you take a slide of it, you could go to the original news piece for this in case you're interested to know about it. Any questions or you want to see what the last week? Ada yang saya bosan? Kamu bosan? I will get up at 4 this morning. In fact, I didn't sleep the whole night because I was afraid of this supply. We get paid to sleep. So at least we try to have the same amount of money after that. Any questions? No? No. So we go on to the next story now. Okay. Please. The second story is, as you can see there, is the coastline. Now from land, we will move to the shoreline. Sarawak is also has also a very long coastline curve. So whether with some Australia on the bigger, the macroscopic scale, you will actually pulau, sebab the Borneo Island there. So kalau pada pulau, maksudnya your shoreline and your coastline is very, very long. So this is what I talk about our coastline, which may not be as secure as we like to imagine. Right. The idea of writing about this article was Kuala Nerus Kelantan, the embankment, the road embankment exactly next to the Kuala Nerus beach. Collapse how soon? Within 1 month of construction. So, probably you wouldn't public money and you cost a lot of traffic jams and all, and you construct berbulan, tiba-tiba tak sampai sebulan dia roboh. Tak unacceptable, unacceptable. So, when it's unacceptable, it means a lot of people will start. So, what we actually see is a very common thing that we do when we try to construct embankment, road embankment typically next to the sea. Kita akan letak rock armor. Biasa tengok kan, seperti kalau yang jalan just drive on the road, that is exactly as you see, you look on the side of the ocean or the sea, mana betul-betul besar. So those are rock armors. Then we always think, the bigger the rocks, the safer we are. More massive the rock, lagi besar lagi bagus. Kita manusia ada tendency lagi besar lagi bagus. Kan, misleading. Alright, as I say, it's surface illusion. Because we put the rocks the rock armor, now put armor, police side. The winds come, tsunami can come. So our road will protect our road. Betul lah kan, macam bikin ke kuku a fortress. But we forget, siapa nak sebut batu besar-besar? Dia bukan aku kat situ lah. dia kena support sitting on something. Macam ni lah. Selagi we are on Earth, we got gravity, betul? Once we got gravity, meaning that everything is constructed on the ground. Make sense? Macam mana terapung, macam mana kerja on the ground. Even the perantau minyak in the ocean is also with foundation into the seabed, into the ground. Unless you go to outer space like space station. Space station is terapung, betul-betul terapung. Right? Zero gravity. So, when kita on Earth, everything is constructed on the ground. So when on the ground, whatever you put on top of it, like the rock armor, you must consider what is going on underneath as well. Because most of the time yang atas elok je, yang bawah tu yang ikut. Kemudian satu lagi, batu-batu tu bagus untuk selamatkan kita dari impact of the wave. Impact tau. Tetapi Malaysia ni sangat-sangat betul. We are surrounded by waters and oceans and seas which are very mild. Gentle je. Contoh, Borneo Islands. You have South China Sea, South China Sea on your left hand side, on your right side. On your east side, what do you have?
Malacca.
Malacca kat Peninsula. Kalau Borneo. Kalau
Sumatra.
Apa nama tu? On your east coast. What laut is that? You
Sumatra.
naik ke tengok Philippines semua tulang apa? Sulu. Right? All the small laut. Bukan ocean tau. Yeah? Then you come across the Peninsula Malaysia, you swim across South China Sea, then you sampai ke Kelantan. You cut across Kelantan, you go across, you go to Perak. You nampak Selat Melaka, betul? Selat, bukan laut. Why selat? Sebab kalau tengok dengan banyak place, nampak Sumatera tu. Laut kecil sungguh. Boleh tak? Then you turun ke bawah ke Johor, tempat Dr. Ana belajar, tempat saya belajar. You nampak ujung Malaysia, you nampak Singapore, Selat the Brown, Selat. Okay, so you see, the seas that surround us are all the very mild, very gentle sea. Bagi kata lain, ombak yang datang tidaklah sehebat ke mana. Tidak sehebat ke mana. Basically itu asyik, yes, itu tsunami. Tsunami is abnormal big waves because of tectonic movement, because of earthquake. Yeah. So that's abnormal. Under normal circumstances, our wave height and all is tak ada macam tu, tak ada yang abnormally high, excessively high, tak ada. Limpah rumah semua tak ada. Naik ke jalan tak ada. Alright? Air pasang aja, bulan Ramadan air pasang tu maybe a little bit special. Bukan sampai beberapa kali ketinggian tak ada. So in other words, itu batu memang boleh menampung tu ombak punya. Ya? The ombak is nothing to the batu. Mereka kena treat dia tak ada hal. Right? Satu. Yang kedua ialah, if you look at the diagram down there, bila you look at that, what is that thing flowing kat bawah and then the orange color? What is this? What is moving? Remember when we learn the chapter of permeability? Seepage. Very good. Seepage. You answer my question. What's your name? Masak. You didn't drink anything much. I brought you a little book. Right. I have two more, so if you answer, I will pass on to you. Right, so that is seepage. Okay? So we should be more worried about the seepage sebenarnya. Yang garang-garang orang dia tak risau, orang apa dia tak risau. Yang kita risau, yang diam-diam seluruh masuk ke bawah yang tu. So this is what we're going to discuss about these samples. Please, let's try to understand this so that when you go out of this room, these day one, you can go and tell other people sangat boyong punya accent. I can explain very clearly what actually happened. Bukan saja ombak datang, it's not about ombak. It is never about the ombak sebenarnya. Okay lah, not like to say lagi. Nanti ombak pergi pula. Ombak pun macam peranan, tapi yang kita tampak adalah yang subtly, the arus sebenarnya, the current. Alright? Now, they call it piping vacuum. We know piping, we learn in permeability, right? So piping is a scenario where there's a big emission. Air lalu tanah slowly gerugi, there's a piping, political pipes, cari laluan untuk sampai ke tempat yang lebih luas semula. Betul? At the end of piping is always what? Hujung piping ialah, piping dia menggerugi, betul? Cari jalan, keluar. Bila dia keluar tu, Dia jumpa langit semula, dia panggil apa? Come on, what's the word? Start with P. Lupa tak? Sekarang makan back, I have a sketch for you. Anyone? It's not with P. Ingat balik benda ini, and then you put your silk, your palm sheet up, air itu lalu, your flow net itu. Kalau dia lalu banyak sangat sampai di hujung sana, ramai-ramai berkumpul, tangan di sebelah sana akan berlaku sesuatu. Dia macam duduk macam tu. What do you call that? Dah belajar kan tak pernah?
Kelas saya.
Tarik balik markah. What do you call that? Piping and of it. Bagi apa? B, start with B. Okay, like bubble, what causes bubble? What's the you don't call it bubbling, bubbling is so macam anak-anak kan tak boleh nak kalau. What? What is that? Boiling kan? Boiling. Right? We learn about this and we try to figure out the safety factor against boiling. Because once you see boiling on the other side of the ground, it's very dangerous. Maksudnya the piping down the pollution. Okay? So this is what is happening here. Look, the first situation is that when your wave, your current come in, they will try to knock your rocks apart. Betul tak? Rock apa ya? Dia hentak, dia cuba gerakkan dia. Pada discuss, your rock are besar, sangsa, gagah, tegak, tak berganjang pun. Yang ganjang itu kita sikit-sikit je. Ya? Tapi, when the wave goes back, dia datang, dia kembali kan? When it goes back, look at the second diagram. What happened? Dia mencuri batu-batu, berikir-berikir, pasir-pasir yang halus. Yang kecil-kecil itu selalu tak akan ke bawah. Ke bawah. So dia curi, dia datang, dia ambil, pergi. Lama-lama, diagram apa berlaku? Berlubang ke bawah. Betul? Dia nampak, dia tak nampak. Dia lalu, dia lalu, drop armor, dia gambar. Very nice, beautiful, di sunset. Tapi kat bawah, dah mula lompok. See that? Make sense? Ya. You bayangkan, otak tu datang setiap hari ke, seminggu sekali ke, sebulan sekali, atau dia raya setahun sekali. Every 6 hours ni dia datang, betul? High tide every 4 hours ni kan? So, you have high tide, low tide dalam 24 hours, twice. So, every day, non-stop. Macam apa berlaku? Lama-lama? Batu tu akan gerak berpihak sebab tak ada siapa nak tampung dia kan? Okay. Now, this is what we can usually see, the piping vacuum kan? Now, we use our secondary knowledge to go deeper. Remember the word pore pressure? Ya, pore pressure. Sebenarnya, kita ni malas sebut. Kita kata pore pressure. Sebenarnya nama penuhnya adalah pore water pressure, betul? Jadi pore pressure, pore is a voice. Voice ada apa pressure? Is a lubang, betul? Lompong. Lompong tu must be filled with something baru ada pressure. Kalau tak ada apa, pressure apa? So it's filled with water. That's why it becomes pressurized. If it's just air atau air static, hydrostatic tenang-tenang, who cares? Yeah, it's because you start to ramai-ramai masuk ke situ, dia start to pressure. Don't believe me. Now you're very comfy kan? We get another 170, I don't think we're so comfy anymore. Another 100 lah, we can do it. Tak terlalu happy dah. So tak terlalu happy akan hangry, betul? Oh sorry, angry first. Lepas angry, duduk lama-lama sini kuliah, hungry. So campur kita hangry. Then sentuh air pula tu, lepas sentuh air, kalau tak terlalu happy. So pressure will start to build. Same thing here with the soil. So this pore water pressure will build up in your pores of the soil. Yeah? When between the particles tanah tu atau batu tu, the pressure starts to build up. Apakah apa berlaku kat batu-batu atau tanah-tanah tu? Masih boleh rapat-rapat ke terpisah? Terpisah. Then I remind me and you, bila benda terpisah ni, dia tak bersentuhan, ada friction. Ada friction. Then we recall, we learn in some mechanism. Friction angle, P is the shear strength of soil. Betul? You do shear box kan, betul tak? And pecahkan force the soil to fill in the middle. and then you lukis 3 titik, you letakkan satu line, oh the angle is free, the pintasan Y adalah position, betul kan? Then you say the friction angle means inilah friction ada zara-zara tanah. So now if I tell you that water goes in, pore pressure is so great, my zara-zara tanah is not sentuhing each other, no contact, ada friction, zero friction. That's why it leads to what? Liquefaction. Liquefaction of soil lama pun liquefy. Macam mana tanah boleh liquefy? Macam mana tanah boleh behave like cair, like air, quicksand, pasir jelus. Alright? Because of the pore pressure that is so great, the pasir-pasir terpisah, tak bersentuhan. And when we tak bersentuhan, no friction, no shear strength. No shear strength, apa-apa letak bergerak. Make sense? Yeah. So now you understand, you watch Indiana Jones kan, Indiana Jones jatuh dalam pasir jelus kan, tarik-tarik kata lebarkan badan you, rangka-rangka keluar, seloskan permukaan badan kan, untuk sentuh permukaan tu, supaya boleh terapung. Bukannya muka macam whale shark, macam ni, habis pocong mungkin yang tenggelam juga, sebab permukaan is so small. See, even when you're out there in the wild, some kali pun terlepas itu exhibition of it. Okay, so now, dah typing thank you, dah berfaham dulu, it leads to what? It leads to the collapse that we call the zipper effect. Ini banyak. Lepas keluar cerita kawan sambil mengerti makan boleh pisang, wah ini poyo kawan tu, pakai. So, you know, bila kita cakap dengan orang, biar kita cakap semua memanfaatkan. Sembang segala. Dia apa yang kita cakap tu dapat manfaatkan orang lain sampai ilmu, betul tak? At the meantime, you are actually making revision for yourself, ulang haji. Jadi why not? Sembang 10 benda, 5 benda yang main-mainan, 5 benda dia berhasil sikit lah, betul tak? Macam you makan, you are what you eat kan, betul tak? So if you eat 5 junk food, I don't eat 5 good food lah, betul? Kalau tidak apa berlaku, raya baru lepas, kita semua mengasam lagi. About me, I got simple, I got too much of food. So you see, the zipper effect, this is very interesting, isn't it? The whole process is about the discussion just now, kan? The water comes, see the first step is your embankment kat bawah tu, paling the effect kat bawah, it's not showering the first one. It comes in, it takes away all the loose strands. Loose punya kecil-kecilnya semua pergi. Kalau besar kat atas tu, nak tahu tanah kan mula bergerak. Kalau yang bawah tu, you imagine this is your embankment, ini kaki dia. At the kaki tu, mula lemah. Oh, mula happen to kaki ada dua atas tu, gravity kan. I pun berganjak lah. Bila I berganjak, seorang berganjak, semua orang mula berganjak. Dia macam domino effect. So it's a zip, you tarik, you memang the whole road will go away. You understand that? So very, very dramatic here. That is why dia berlaku Kuala Terus atau mana-mana lah yang kata this process memang berobong dengan diri orang sangat dramatik punya. Dia bukan, sikit no. It's always kan. Macam, kalau kita tengok macam catastrophic punya collapse. Sebab itulah. Alright, because it does not confine itself to one place. Even though katakan, it's just katakan major ni nak sepanjang pantai tu yang ada rock. Katakan ada kata tu sini dia. Kalau sini dia, memang kelihatan tu boleh selamat dia. No. Sama-sama akan jatuh. That's why it's very, very dangerous. You don't need to have the whole spread to build. You just need one section. Right? Okay. So dah cakap banyak juga ada critical thinking kan. So ada problem solving juga lah. How to solve the problem? Macam bola, ada tanya-tanya lah. Jadi, we are not saying that rock armor is no good. We are saying that we can think of how to make rock armor a better solution, a more effective solution. Right? So antaranya yang agak commonly used now, you probably pernah dengar apa nama tu, UTM called it science lab. Pernah dengar science lab bentuk S many years ago, I think more than 30 years ago. Forgot the name, Halibah. Yeah, in UTM KL. So that was patented. Now it's used in many places in Malaysia. So those interlocking punya rock armor, those are different one. When you interlock, the waste cannot move, betul tak? Bawah tu dah hilang pun, dia tak boleh berganjak. So kita tak nak sekarang simple effect kan, you gerak semua orang kan, belum bergerak. So these modern type of solution we are talking about, not just looking at the surface. Long amat surface dah dengar, but now we say what, we want to have subsurface stability as well. So kita dah bincangkan for the past 15 minutes, we see what? We see that the failure of our coastal embankment is not because of the surface armor. The armor is okay, no issue. The problem is yang sebaliknya dan di bawah itu. Piping, boiling, remember that? Okay. So having said that, we're going to treat that problem. And deep pore we issue, it goes down. So I must make sure that the water doesn't have a way to chewy for piping. So this is where your connectivity, seepage in the knowledge will come to play. And I want to introduce filters so that my soil now where can breathe. Nanti dia tengok, so breathe because I want my soil to breathe. Water comes in, dia lemas tu, ikan ada lemas, so we must allow it to breathe. But how much we do? And of course, it buys us time. Yang paling penting, dia bagi kita amalan. If you want to fail, dia takkan fail satu malam, dia akan bergerak sikit-sikit. Kenapa I memang guna crank? I makin greater, tapi nampak benda sikit-sikit. The environment is moving, ada movement. So when your calculus appear like ni, simptom, tolong macam ni, kita boleh ambil tindakan. Kalau dia tak ada simptom, tiba-tiba dia roboh, apa kita boleh buat? Mati. Kenapa jadi kat sini? You get me? So understand this in the case, when we say critical thinking problem solving, we can't always 100% solve the problem. We can buy time to seek the people, to seek the structure is already a solution. Tak ada 100% that's something perfect kan? Artinya, nanti kita cuba secara banyak untuk minimalkan, especially kecederaan. Alright? So quickly, this is how it will look like. Kalau betul-betul nampak lah. Dia nampak besar-besar ni batu. Tak ada, flat-flat ada. Alright? Mungkin yang suka memancing tak bagus suka dah. Mana tempat ada kekek. Betul lah. Kalau orang amal memancing kan, which is very nice. Tapi orang amal ni pun ada satu isu. Kita kena tahu ada sampah juga. I kata, wah penuh sampah lah. Pergi rasa ada downside pula pernah ada. Dan dia boleh tempat apa? Tempat because all the bad things to be bad. Jadi nanti sometimes mereka tak pun dia dan dia story dia ular semua. Orang tengah berdiri-diri dia ular-ular. Apa saya lakukan? Macam-macam pattern. So civilian and safety we talk about it. So very quickly, what we are seeing here, we start at the toe nampak. You have all these deep toe punya anchoring. Depan-depan ni, dia masukkan the ship house, make sure two things. Nombor satu, panjangkan laluan air yang masuk. Instead of direct, saya kena lalu ke bawah, saya akan lambat. Bila the seepage, if I panjangkan ke laluan, you akan sampai, tapi masa sangat lama. So lama nanti dikira tenaga. By then, some you can have boiling anymore. So I lengthen the drainage path. Number two, I make it so deep, it actually becomes an anchor. Dia terasa tak? Dia macam satu slope sebenarnya. Betul? You tak bikin yang namanya jalan itu straight, tegak ke bawah, dan filterkan tak? Tidak, you mesti akan buat slope. Kenapa buat slope? Kenapa tak buat embankment straight masuk ke laut? Kenapa kena lantai-lantai macam ni? Anyone? Betul? Have you seen embankment yang tegak macam ni? Atau you semua nampak memang ada angle dia? Why? Why do you always think embankment ada angle? Anyone? A guess? Any idea? No. Why do you think you always make our embankment with a slope? In fact, we have a spec for it. Why? Agak-agak, come on, anyone? Just a guess. Why? You will manage it EQ. Then you can get a bookmark from this. Not my book, I don't want to watch it. You can have a bookmark. Why? Why do you always build embankment with a slope? Sedangkan slope tak bagus, makan buang. Kena beli tanah orang, terbaik kerja, kalau tambah ada banyak tanah backfields. Why? Buat straight je. But why do we sibuk-sibuk nak buat dia zero macam tu? Anyone? Come on. Cuba habiskan, boleh cuba makan boleh pisang dah. Baik cepat. Anyone? Come on. Ya. Macam mana?
Pandemic, I think it's shows up to tune out the way. Slow down the way.
So you straight,
Straight is
direct,
direct negative.
something,
The something is will slow down lah.
then the weight energy.
Uh,
Alright, so everyone look up for me. There you go. Okay, so you see, I'm sure all of you know the answer, tapi Eric aja yang berani nak jawab. Nah, yang angkat tangan jawab je lah. Okay, so that's it. You can see here, you do the soap to dissipate the impact of the weight. And also it's more stable lah, betul tak? Kalau isi mobil, kalau tegak tengah macam ni, you want to do this can. Kalau tegak behind it, bila tegak, if you actually jam kat sini, kiri kanan dan fight over, tegak, tengok, JKR. Your lead form secondary stabilizer keluar kan, ada second tu. Dan you boleh tegak, how much of effort is going to make sure tegak punya permukaan boleh tahan dengan a lot of effort, a lot of energy. Okay? So that is cost and all. And what else do you see? Up there you have our ACT, talk about that. Your flexible punya rock armor sekarang, and dia dilapisi dengan Rotexa because you want to breathe, you come on that. And satu benda yang memang kita tak tahu, tak pernah nak fikir pun, termasuk DEI, ialah underground weak holes. Remember what weak holes? Tembok, penahan di tembok. You see kat depan tu ada lubang-lubang betul lah, dekat tu lah. Weak holes kan, so air kalau dalam infiltration can still come out from the soil, visibly lah. Tapi kat Malaysia ada dua isu. Pipe kat dalam tu, colour kat atas dia pun tak tahu pengatur. So macam mana air luar tak tahu. Dua, menjadi planter box, sama tu penuh dengan belukar. Oh, kadang nampak ada alat tinggi juga. So macam mana kita weak hole. So these weak holes are underground. Alright, that's the look now. This is very interesting sebenarnya. So we are talking about this. Yang kat depan tu, your shift tu goes deep. So goes deep dua perkara. Satu, dia pasangkan dia cerut tu, betul? Dia pasangkan kat bawah tu supaya dia nak sliding pun dia kena slide, dia tahan, dia anchor tak. Dua, what do you say? I go down, air nak masuk susah, kena lalu, dikul kat bawah. Bila risau, kau bila lemah lagi, kena boil lah. Kena tu boiling, kena tu typing lah. Alright? Sekarang, now, This armor is very interesting. If you look carefully, it looks a bit like Ankylosaurus punya kulit. Dua lagi Ankylosaurus. It's all those armor punya teratops. You know dinosaurs? Okay. Sorry, I think some of the dinosaurs. So it's Ankylosaurus. I think dia lebih dalam itu. Nama Jurassic World tak apa lah. Walaupun salah kira tapi tak apa. Yang dia covered inside the Stegosaurus, apa tak apa. Those dinosaurs that bayangkan macam ni. Kaki kontot-kontot, ekor panjang, herbivore, hampir merangkak. Ciri utama, the back of one armor. These are the special breed of dinosaurs. So Ankylosaurus is one of them, yang they found the fossils, dia punya armor tu sebetul-sebetul macam ni. Antara ACT ni dapat idea dari situ, sebetul-sebetul. Kalau dia tengok Stegosaurus, dia adalah dia tengah-tengah tu, dan dia spine, come out with big pieces, macam kapak. So sebenarnya ability to fight tak dapat lah, bukan dia boleh risaukan berapa ini tapi menakutkan orang. Some paleontologists believe that the Stegosaurus punya spikes, when dia tengah angry, dia nak fight away the predator, it changes color. Tapi tak tahu fosil kan, siapa tahu kan. Of course, the latest discovery also from fossils that dinosaurs eating lah, T-Rex semua tu berkulit kan, betul? Eating lah. And at one point we say they are lizards. They are reptilia kan. Then they must be persistent. Finally, the latest thing, the perfect fossil found of a pteranodon, the flying dinosaur, is feather. Macam burung. Quite disappointing, no? Think of T-Rex covered with feathers, so tak berapa nak tahan lah. So we will never know how dinosaurs is seen look like. So what they look like? Sorry, because I studied about dinosaurs kan. I tak tahu. Anyway, look at this the anatomy of this armor. Instead of just putting big loose rocks covering the abdomen, look, the blocks are interlocking. Number one, kecil ini is interlocking, and beneath it you have a layer of Rotexa. So now, when the water comes in, hit my blocks, betul? my blocks will take away some of the energy. The water seeps into the ground. I never stop the water from going in, right? It goes in, my geotextile will protect my soil. When the water goes away, air keluar, sila keluar, tanah tinggal, betul? Tanah tak keluar. So the geotextile is a filter. Izinkan air keluar, tapi tanah tak keluar. If my tanah dengan batu kecil tak boleh keluar, maka bawah tu tak boleh follow up. So my tanah ke atas tu akan ada asas yang kenapa. So it stays in place. Okay? So it's kind of protection system for the armor. If we take if you look, remember I told you the weak holes, right? Those weak holes. Those weak holes are underneath. Nampak tak? Dia kat bawah. So not good enough, dia kata air tu masuk, ombak datang, ombak pergi, air terjebeskan, tanah tinggal, air keluar, air juga izinkan dia kat bawah tu, ada holes, air keluar dari bawah juga. Jangan don't stay in my soil. Don't stay. Because when it stays, we cause problem. Betul? Simple as that. So these are the deep holes that I'm talking about. There's a zooming diagram to show you the geotextile, how it comes in. See? This is the embankment, this is the ocean. The water comes in, bila dia surut, tanah-tanah ni akan stay. Air dia keluar kembali. Tanah tak boleh keluar. Kalau tanah tak boleh keluar, yang tanah ke bawah tu akan tumpuk. Alright? There's an diagram to show you. If I just leave the rocks, the first diagram kan, awal kita macam tu kan. Ingat, awal kita kaji, air datang scouring, bawah ada longkong, batu pun bergerak, habis untuk. Macam kalau ada terus, ada tempat juga. But if I have these blocks that are articulated, they are joined. Nak gerak pun susah, saling terlock kan. Nombor dua, ada filter at all. So the water can be taken away. Alright? So all in all, the system will look something like this. Baru nampak typical freaking problem solving. Rather than just dump rocks on the tanks. Alright? So this is how it goes. So you think sebentar anak-anak semua, does it look like purely geotechnic? Is this a geotech problem? This is usually associated with coastal engineering, right? But you notice, it fails not because of the coastal defense, the material, the blocks, it's about geotechnical understanding. Jadi penting kan dia belajar geotech yang bersungguh-sungguh, bagi dia menyumbang lah besok. So the long and short is that we cannot continue we cannot continue doing the way we are doing things by using this heavy rock armor without knowing what's going on down there. Because we cannot solve the problem using the same solution that doesn't work. Bisa tak? Betul kan? Tak boleh. So, perlu buat sesuatu yang berbeza sikit. So that's it. In case you like the story, you can go on the and get the story there. Any questions? Any questions? Do you have class at 4 o'clock? Ada class? Ada class kita angkat tangan, ada negosiasi. Bila besar lah kita negosiasi punya. Ada class tak tangan? Ada class tak tahu? Ada class tak angkat tangan, ada belajar content. Kalau ada class, sorry, class. Ada class ada class, tak? Tak ada. So, if tak ada, izinkan habiskan the next story. So, ada class, you got 50 minutes on the very go. So, kena rehat kerja, baru dibuka. Nak teruskan, almost story to go. Okay? Okay. So, this is the last story. You notice we go from 3 to 1. Alright? Bila kita nampak, mungkin tulisnya, apa sebabnya kita cakap tell the story in such a way. Alright? So, the last story, as you can see there, is for the king prize. Now, king prize ni, I think, kadang-kadang kita dalam kepala air kan? Dalam bahasa Melayu. Sometimes we dengar lah, itu camping, glamping, kita air pump, turun dari atas, reduce our lives and all, right? So this is from the kawasan Karahan. From the catchment area in the upland, or from the sea, from the ocean, we have situations we call the peak tide. Di mana ombak dia datang, you can see it's a tsunami. Tsunami comes from earthquake. Yeah? Tapi king tide is because of what happened in outer space. Kita tak boleh tahu. Itu memang tak boleh tahu. Tsunami pun tak boleh tahu. Tapi tak boleh suruh itu jangan gerak. So, same thing. You see how vulnerable we are, how helpless we are. Kita boleh tutup tunggu je, tak tahu apa nak berlaku. Aircon tak nak fungsi pun dah sama masih tak boleh. Contoh. Alright. So please, we go straight to this. That's all right for you. It happened at outer space. So we just tunggu je lah apa nak berlaku. And we hear about this effect every day, every 12 hours, we experience this kan, air pasang, air surut, betul kan? Okay. And we also know, this is basic, we know that air pasang, air surut is because of the position of the moon relative to the earth, kan? Sebab tarikan antara dua jasad di angkasa lepas. I almost wanted to say tarikan bulan, bukan, ini bukan sebab tarikan bulan, ini sebab dua objek yang berdekatan, come to a certain, you cross my orbit, I cross your orbit. Betul ya? When your orbit overlaps, then there's a tarikan. Betul lah? Alright. Kalau tidak, ini tak ada bulan, sorry, bumi tak ada bulan. Bumi ada satu bulan je, kita begitu precious lah, akhirnya akan benda di bulan. Recently, amethyst came back from a bit further away from bulan, sangat gembira. NASA heard the news, I think last week. Artemis? No. Artemis is a Greek god punya nama. Artemis is the twin brother of, never mind. They have got to do with one they named the spaceship Artemis. Dia selalu namakan ada sebab Apollo, Artemis ada makna dia. Artemis is the twin brother of that Greek god that jaga the bulan. I think it's Apollo. Anyway, Artemis went furthest away, right? Furthest away from the Earth experience with manusia ini. Kita paling jauh sampai mana? Bulan. Since 1969, dia arrived past on a small step. Siapa yang cucukkan bendera Amerika kat bulan dan say a small step for man, a giant leap for mankind? Who said that? Jadi dia pakai jam Rolex. So hari ni Rolex yang tu. Omega or Rolex yang dia one. Who was that? The first man on the moon? Siapa? Armstrong. Alright. So 1969 today is 2026. We went to the moon thinking that we want to colonize the moon. Manusia macam ni yang pertama. Bumi pun tak habis juga lagi nak pergi duduk kat bulan. Dan itu gravity tak berapa ada. Masalah air. Jumpa bekas-bekas tempat yang macam ada air, tapi really tak juga air. But it's believed that the moon was a splinter from the earth. When God created earth, a splinter came out. Originally, he might have a big batu, but it spins, mana dia bulan. Amazing God's creation. Dia bukan tiba-tiba di bulan dia tu. Just like those asteroids that traveling, lama ni smoothed out because of fiction. So nak cakap ni Artemis came back. So everybody is excited. Laporan belum keluar setelah atau begitu juga lah. Okay. Nak cakap ialah bila tiga benda ni sekaris, then you have impact. Siapa betul? Kita kisah kita sebenarnya betul. Dia. We know there's a sun, the big nuclear reactor. And these kita sebut further. Nanti kita cerita. Bila dia align dengan the sun with us at a certain point, misalkan betul, then the impact will come. Alright, air pasang dia sangat-sangat melampau. Macam mana melampau sampai tengok penahan dia atau di laut tu tidak boleh menampung dia. Dia tahan 2 meter, dia datang 3 meter. Tak ke banjir yang itu lah. Sebenarnya kalau di banjir itu okey lagi. Why? Sebab air datang, air pergi juga. Pasang tu. Masalahnya, dia datang bertubi-tubi. My wall collapsed. When my wall collapsed, just like what happened with maksudnya the state, when the levee broke, New Orleans. When the levee broke or the embankment breaks, maksudnya apa? Bila air pasang besar ni pergi pun, air pasang kecil pun akan tahan, betul? So tempat air sentiasa ditenggelami air. Understand that? So you must know what is actually happening so that we can see how severe the problem is. It is one key comes once in a while, betul-betul once in a blue moon. Tetapi the impact will be very, very disastrous. Alright? So if you take a closer look at what is happening when this impact comes, air ni, pada-pada memang pasal air ni. Dia datang, tanah memang tak suka air ni. Tak kira you pasang ke, you halus ke, you pelipin, you send, you clean, dia tak suka air ni. Sebab air akan lemahkan you. As simple as that. How do you know? You effective stress adalah signal tolak you, betul tak? You mengatakan air dia, tekanan air dia, more water pressure. Sebab tekanan air dia, what you say? You go in between like some particles, you push us apart. When we are apart, we got no friction, so we don't have to hotel okay? So this is what happens. You see, when I'm in dry form, I only ate happy ate either you calm the water, and the water comes so much, so much, the water stays. Alright, it stays. When it stays, look what happens in there. You perasan tak? The longkong filled with water, never mind. Dia ada perasan tak? Yang kecil-kecil dah hilang. Ni main kecil, kita dah hilang. Bila kecil-kecil hilang, there is more longkong, betul tak? More longkong. When there's more longkong, bila air tu ada kat situ, sepatutnya tak ke dalam, nanti tak kena. Air tu akan surutkan dengan diri. When the air goes away, longkong-longkong jadi apa? What will happen to the longkong-longkong? Who will fill it up? The soil itself, right? Will move in. That's why tanah tu, bila air tu datang, air tu pergi, tanah air dah tenang. Betul lah? Sebab the rock tu kena diisi, you cannot float in the air, you kena feel it. So you feel makin tenang. Dia makin tenang, lalu jadi rendah. So air dari sesalah dia masuk rumah air tenang. Baby yang tak begitu. Okay? So we say that this is the process of it. So take a quick look at it. What happened? Now, cosmic alignment. The perfect situation, we have the big pipe. When the pipe comes in, the water will inundate our coastal environment. And then what happened? So much of water, so much of pressure. The water goes to the ground. Tak sempat nak keluar pun. In fact, the water attract. Bila the water attract, kalau atas tu beban yang kecil, tak ada masalah lah. Okay, dia stay lah lama-lama. Dia welcome stay. But the problem is that atas ada traffic juga, ada bangunan dan sebagainya. Hello, I tak suka you kat sini sebab you are here. I tak ada kekuatan, betul kan? What happened? Collapse. See? Something that is invisible, something that is out of sight, because it's happening down there. And if it's not detectable, belum mana boleh nampak kan? Benda ni tempoh mereka sampai to shifting punya. And satu lagi, read the last slide of water. You can cause salt water intrusion. Ini satu problem. This is something that sebab kita bina engineering, kita tak kisah apa pasal agriculture. Yang penting nasi ada dalam sedia. Beras supply ada, sayur sampai, buah naga sampai dan sebagainya lah. To us, pertanyaan is supply food. But the thing is that agriculture is more than that. Agriculture is not just food crops, it's also commodity crops like alpaka, sawit, and so on and so forth. Fikirkan kita ialah, when you allow this king tide to happen and break down your coastal defense, and then meroboh ais yang masuk, ais yang takut, lama-lama seepage kan, dia akan masuk ikut your groundwater sampai ke dalam. Dalam tu ada ladang sawit, ladang jagung, ladang pelbagai, ladang durian dan sebagainya. Dan tiba-tiba yang makan musang ni, wah kenapa macam salty caramel or whatever that is, macam tu lah. Okay, ada yang puasa, minta maaf ya. So macam, how come? Itu kalau masih jadi buah. Kalau salty, the ground becomes salty, pokok-pokok mati tu. Dulu jagung macam ni sekarang, mana jagung tu lebih besar tahun daripada buah contohnya lah. So, not acceptable. In fact apa? Sawit. Commodity kan? Malaysia is the second largest producer in the world. Tiba-tiba, our sawit semua tak berbuah. Check bawah tu, tanah tu semua kemasinan. So, the sawit cannot take it. So, bad salt water intrusion. And this kind of contamination is forever, you know. It's very, very difficult. Tak ada benda impossible lah. Tapi very, very difficult to clean lah. So, once you kena kan, maksudnya tanah tu kena, ladang kena tutup belakang. Kalau lebih banyak tanah kena digunakan ladang, kurangkan tanah tu pergi rumah tu you. Biasanya dah kerja kat kali, apa-apa tak boleh untuk rumah pangsa dia. Saya tak cukup tanah. Ada tanah sawit untuk rumah orang negara. Alright? Okay. So now, take a look. We cannot stop it. Cosmic alignment. Berlaku kat sana, we cannot ini kuasa Tuhan. Kita tak boleh halang kalau dengan alignment, the sun and the moon and the earth, and cause a chemical. But the way we construct our coastal defense, maybe dah sampai masa untuk briefing lah. Sampai masa untuk briefing, whether that is the best solution. This is where anak-anak semua yang critical thinking kena thinking lah. Betul ke masih nak design a concrete wall, design macam RC ni tu pandai je, no overturning, no very conventional planning failure, jangan terdolong so okay, settle, FOS will settle. They will settle, but instead the way you want it, look, what are the issues that they are so rigid and you cannot deflect a little bit. Obat datang, terima pertama kuat, pertama mesti lebam juga, betul? Banding dengan something yang lebih more flexible, more organic, yang ada kat sebelah kanan ni. Itu apa? Itu apa? Itu buatan manusia kan? Itu adalah kurniaan Tuhan. Kita nak cuba tanam pun tak sempat nak tanam, betul lah. We try. Mangrove rehabilitation, we tak berapa berjaya lah. Sebab the climate change kan, the water rise, sea water rise is a lot faster than our mangrove growing. So, you tumbuh mana baby lagi air datang lagi tu mati. You tumbuh sikit lagi adolescent air dah mati. So, very difficult. Very difficult. So, don't think that always tak apa, rosak tak apa kita. We can always try repair. We have rehabilitation pemuliharaan. Yeah. Maybe we're going to memulihara dan tak sempat dan memulihara. Nama pulihara. Pulih dan pelihara. In the first place, semua tak pelihara. Kenapa nak pulih? Betul lah. If I can pelihara, why should I pulih? Macam raya lah, coba dimakan. Dah macam ni. So, kena pelihara sekarang. Kalau I tak pelihara macam ni, tak okey kan? Betul. Right? So, look at it. This mangrove ini kan, kita semua kena tahu. Tak kira kita tak senang tolong, tak salah-salah. Why? Bagi saya kita semua pulau. Alright? Sebenarnya pulau pula sebenarnya. Jadi ada penting kita tahu. Selagi kita tak kisah pasal this mangrove kan, selagi itu kita berugian sebenarnya. Nombor satu, kita tahu tempat paya-paya ni, Sophie area is salah the ski yang paling paya kat dunia. Betul kan? That's why tempat sana kan, kita spend banyak duit datang mono fest dan sebagainya. Why? Because they like the nature that they conserve here. Alright? So having said that, this mangrove ini is naturally there to protect the coastline. You bikin macam ni, tak sehebat dia macam ni sebenarnya. Alright? So let's take a look. What does it do sebenarnya? Mangrove typically, there are 4 species utama. Kat Malaysia lah. Yang paling biasa nampak, dia perasan tak? Yang ceracak tu. Macam dia terangkat, dia angkat. This is the batang, tumbuh ke bawah. Banyak-banyak macam tu. Okay? Kalau you masuk inlet sikit, you nampak dia call the black mangrove. Air, dia sebatang, mak air kat situ. Anak air semua colour tajam. Ada perasan? Those are the black mangrove. Naik masuk dalam sikit, dia kata white mangrove. Those yang itu tak tahu dia mangrove tu pokok biasa. Sebab yang kecil, pokok dia kecil, namanya pokok biasa lah. There's another one, I cannot pronounce the name, bukan orang plant. So that one memang dah nampak yang betul-betul dan pokok biasa lah. So yang paling biasa kita jumpa benda air laut tu, memang ialah the red and the black. Yeah, this is the red. So the red is at the front line juga. Kalau di masa pantai, masih ada red, selamat kat pantai. Tapi kalau ini dah tak ada black, tak ada apa pun tak ada, memang kami dah botak. Memang botak ya. Okay, gone taste. Alright? As you can see, I think it's very common sense lah, sebenarnya common sense. Apa-apa yang macam tu. Apa-apa yang ceracak yang all over the place. Alright, intertwine. Obat datang, obat pergi. Dia natural filter kan? Air pergi, tanah tinggal. Boleh tak? And air kita datang, obat bawa sedimen juga. So sedimen sampai, obat nak bawa pergi, tak boleh. Sebab terperangkap tak akan satu. Lama-lama, usually tempat macam ni, bertambah menjadi darat tau. Tertambah. So bila tertambah menjadi darat, automatik dia ada perlindungan jenis obat. So that's why it's such a disease kan, dan it's a natural process as. Unfortunately, kita tebang dia dengan pembela. This is bakal lah. Betul. Masa biasa bakal cakap mango, bakal benda mango dia bakal obilo, bakal cucuk kan. Kita tebang so pembela Malaysia tak ada lah sebenarnya. You guna cucuk bakal, kita import dari Indonesia juga tak? Sebenarnya, kita tak ada lah. Kita ada yang really tak sempat nak pelihara. Right? So this is the situation. So what I think this is the last story because I want to remind ourselves, remind anak-anak semua, kita sedang menyeringkan, bila isi kita sedang menyeringkan sana merosakkan dan membinasakan. Kita nak bikin banglo, kita tolak hutan, kita bakar hutan, kita ratakan cerun, kita buang gunung dan sebagainya. Betul tak? You see they are destroyer, they say they are like the orang yang dalam transformer menyatakan Decepticons, betul tak? They destroy. But the Autobots are the good ones they protect. Contohnya lah. Okay lah. So we try not to be so destructive lah. So dalam kita cuba selamatkan the civilians, we try to construct infrastructure that's safe. We also try to make it more nature friendly. Environment friendly, ya kita nature friendly. Nature friendly ni kita dah siap kan? Macam ni, actual sebut lah. Tak macam seperti tepuk konkret macam tu. So kita look at this diagram here. Do you think that it looks pretty natural? Tapi sebenarnya banyak jotek kat dalam tu. Ada nampak? Excellent. Can see those horizontal parts going in. Try to keep things be straight to the ground. Nampak tak? Dia punya environment tu is step form. Bila dia step, dia lebih stabil. And dia punya akar-akar masih boleh pakai untuk terus keep the soil intact, jangan terhakis. Right? So jangan terbawah ni, sebenarnya pisang sebenarnya. Alright? And if we can plan from the beginning, andai kata kita boleh, we are trying to develop a coastal area, maybe we should start thinking, untuk anak-anak yang graduate, people are becoming more conscious of taking care of the environment and becoming more sustainable. Maybe for the chance to be involved in a project like this, like in the one forest city, alright, forest city. Construction now, the development of forest city is very unique in the sense that the coastline is being preserved there. So Dubong masih ada kat situ yang lain-lain. The seagrass is still thriving there. So amazing lah. Why we know? Because we were one of our members, manager of the government, had a project there. So we sama-sama pergi and we realized that they monitored that and the water is super healthy there. Considering construction going on. So that is what we want. And you may have a city like this, can you see? Nothing is wasted, nothing is totally destroyed. When the city is done, the kids there growing up to remember what the nature would have looked like if they didn't develop the place. Masih nampak lagi bekas-bekas di situ. Contoh kepada ayah nak sebab kan. Why do you think they can't sebab kan? Okay, so dengan itu, we move on and simplekan and say, we could try to incorporate some nature-centric bioengineering solution into our single living solution. Because when we do that, not only we blend in and not go so obvious so ugly kan seperti concrete dengan mangrove pada very different kan contohnya. We also contribute to making the world a better place in our small world. With that, we say that the simpulan everybody must report now. Satu penting mana? Malam ni mengatakan kita cerita kampanye bukan dengan sendiri benda ni. Jadi pun tahu kan? Contohnya sebab kita sama-sama kita usahakan. You know, I know the point. Kita tak memang tahu dan kita orang lain tak tahu. So the next time you nak cabut itu baby mangrove, the pink rice, so baby mangrove is very cute. Satu batang bawah satu pot. Yes, kalau tu balik sini sana dia tu okay like sort juga, tapi dia bagi satu ni kurang satu defense. Okay, so that's it. The king tax will keep coming. We cannot control who's under the same tax. So what can we do? To make the damage less destructive and keep our people safe. So that's all. Very interesting.